This is a Magfoot 320. This is a high-strength magnetic bracketing system that S-Tech LLC produces, S-Tech Magnetics. We're going to film an introductory installation video. This is another version of the Magfoot 320 that is used on the Halo Mag or with posts that need to be cammed to a direction up to 45 degrees. This Magfoot is comprised of the sub trays that contain the magnetics on the bottom. These are hover bolts. These are half 13 hex cap threaded screws, threaded bolts. And this is called the shoe and the foot. These through bolt sections allow you to have a traverse ability in running your through bolt system for your connector that is specified. And in this case, we have this device called a kick blade. Now, kick blade can be turned at a 90-degree angle and slots in through this channel and uses either a 5/8 or a 3/4 inch bolt, depending on the kick blade system. In this circumstance, we're going to go ahead and run this kick blade through that center channel. Vince, could you grab that through bolt, please? So 5/8 inch bolt. You have the options of connecting all along this traversing shoe right here to line up the insert that's on the inside. Run your through bolt and connect your fastener on the other side. It's a flat washer, typically flat washer, and a split ring washer. Okay, also what we're gonna do is loosen up these top nuts that are the elevation bolts for the sub trays. This will allow us to jump over this lapped weld seam right here. So right now we have this top subplate partially magnetically bonded, and I'm going to raise the rest of these elevation bolts all the way up so we can adjust these. Now that I like this location for this sub tray, and I like where I'm going to be able to skip this lap weld seam, I'm going to go ahead and bring this top sub tray all the way down. Vince, come over here and check this out. I'll show everybody. I just pulled that hover bolt out and there's not one scratch on that coating system. Okay, when the hover bolts come out, you'll take them all and put them in a pouch. These leave the tower site when you're finished for the day. Okay, we'll keep rolling. So we're going to remove all the hover bolts on this one sub tray. Next thing I want to do is mount this sub tray up where we want to get full magnetic contact without any gaps. That's a 1/4 inch gap right there. That's a surface disconformity. So I'm going to take this sub tray and I'm going to bring it up. Okay. So in that position, I'm going to go ahead and bring these hover bolts down. And I'm looking at the straightness and uniformity of this as I go. Nice thing is you'll get a partial magnetic bond with the hover bolts partially set. Bring all those elevation bolts up. That one got pretty tight, so I'm going to relieve that all the way. Okay, now I'm in a good position to go ahead and lower this sub tray with its hover bolts. So remove the hover bolts. The alignment's nice. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up because I can. And I've gapped this lap weld seam so there's no surface disconformities that are causing any bonding issues with the magnets. This one is applied, the second one is applied. This guy, I can just set that how it is, or I can raise it up just a little bit. Now we're going to remove these hover bolts. See how this entire plate started to relax. Okay, now with all the sub trays set, all of the hover bolts are out and I've checked all the way around it. They're all off. The next duty and installation is going under this shoe plate and raising these nuts up at an equivalent tension just with your fingers. We're not going to use wrenches. We're not going to go really hard on them. We're just going to raise them up across the board with that same tension. There's going to be a gap under there. So we're clearing that gap until our fingers slip. You can also visually look under and make sure that you have all those gaps cleared. do the same thing on the other side. These bottom nuts are raised up where it's slipping on my thumb there. Okay, so across the board here, these are all nice and equivalently tight on all 16 connections. So now we get our half 13 driver. I'm gonna go ahead and, on this guy, push it up just a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead and thread down all of the top nuts on these elevation bolts. And I'll go through and I'll equivalently tighten them all when they're all done. Okay, now that's set, we're going to get a visual confirmation. All the hover bolts are gone. All the lap weld seams, the curvature is captured by using the elevation bolts. And we're going to go ahead and go through and fully tighten. At this point, the mag foot is completely bonded to this steel plate, and we've also captured the curvature of this plate, and we have gapped this lap weld seam so that it does not cause a surface disconformity on the connection of the magnets. Now at this point, we'll show you the kick plate up here allows you to adjust this 90 degrees. So at this point, you'll be able to take your kicker member that's supporting your device with the point load, project it in the direction you need, 3x3 angle as a mock-up for a kicker member. And we're going to connect it with a small 5/8 inch hot dip galvanized hex cap bolt. That'll be attached to the kick blade. That clears the weld seam, and you can project that to the angle that you need. And also when you're finished, you will fully tighten this through bolt and it'll seize the rotation shut.